With Persona 5 Royal releasing a new trailer showcasing the new character even further, it's making people a lot more excited to play this game. So it's no surprise that people want it on a Nintendo Switch. But Atlus has other plans, and they pretty much went ahead and squashed everybody's hopes and dreams for that. This article coming to us from Nintendo, Nintendo Life, brings us this article here. There is no plan to bring Persona 5 Royal to other consoles, Atlus reiterates. This game is set to release on October 31st. I, for one, am excited for it. That date is the Japanese release, so we should expect the game to release probably February, around the same time that Persona 5 got released, when it got released in the States here. So the article reads, no matter how many rumors, rumblings, and exciting bits of speculation you see dotted around the internet suggesting it might be, Persona 5 Royal is not planned for the release on Nintendo Switch. Developer and publisher Atlus has shared a new frequently asked questions section on its official site for the game, with one answer going out of its way to address the issue for good. The statement reads that there is no plan at present to bring the game to any platform other than PlayStation 4. Of course, there is always a chance that it is simply a way of hiding a future announcement. The statement does leave the door open for things to change in the future, but the official stance right now is that a Switch version is not on the way. There's nothing wrong with being cautiously hopeful for a surprise E3 reveal, but we definitely won't put any emotional investment into it. Rumors surrounding a Persona 5 port, Persona 5 Switch port, have been doing the rounds ever since Joker arrived in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Even if the main game doesn't ever arrive, we do have Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, to look forward to instead, an action RPG with warrior-style gameplay. Look, the way that I see it, honestly, they would stand to gain more than they would lose if they were to release a Switch version of this. And the reason why, because so many people now are buying Nintendo Switches. Like, the Nintendo Switch is the most selling console this past year. So with more and more people purchasing a Nintendo Switch, it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and put this very, very popular game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, unless they have some sort of partnership with PlayStation, which they very may well have a partnership with PlayStation, that could be one of the reasons why they are not bringing it to any other console. It could be that PlayStation is paying them a decent size of money to not release this on other games, or on other systems, with the exception of PC, because I believe Persona 5 got a PC port, so that's being the only exception to what could be. But the way that I see it, I really wish they would release it on other consoles, because a lot of people, like I said, would really love to play it on the Nintendo Switch. Hell, I would probably pick it up on the Nintendo Switch, even though I love my PS4. It's also something to note that the PS4 is pretty much out the door at this point, and we would most likely see an announcement for PS5 pretty soon, an official announcement with a release date pretty soon. Obviously, it's not going to be at E3. They'll probably save it for their own PlayStation experience, but with the PS5 right around the corner, most likely they are working on this to put it on the PS5 as well. So that could stand to reason why they might not do a Switch version, because it would hinder sales for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions of the game. And again, if they have some sort of arrangement set with PlayStation, it would only push that further. Also, take into consideration, when you play Persona 5, all of the Sony marketing that's in that game is ridiculous. If you look at all the characters that the phones they're using, and you look at the NPCs of all the different phones that they're using, they are using Sony Xperias. I myself have a Sony Xperia. Let me go ahead and pull it up here so that way you guys can see it. Here is the Sony Xperia. So that way you have an idea of what it looks like and what these characters are using in the game. This is a Sony Xperia, and this is the phone that they are using in the game. It's the phone that you see people texting in when they're on the subway or whatever it is, the bus or whatever. Also, another thing to keep in mind is whenever you see a character playing a video game console, a handheld console specifically, they are playing a PlayStation Vita. So if they were going to put all of this, or if they're going to put this game into Nintendo Switch, they would have to remove all the Sony marketing, because Nintendo's not going to have that. And so they would have to replace all of that, all the subtle marketing in the game. They would have to replace it with Nintendo products. And yes, I know that it's minor details, but that is a really good reason, and a really strong reason as to why I suspect them having some sort of partnership with Sony. But next time you play the game, take a good look to what the NPCs are doing, and you'll get to see those small little details. Headphones that characters are using, or headphones that NPCs might be using, are Sony headphones. Even the consoles that the characters are using, I believe, is a Sony PlayStation, the old PS1, when you go and you buy a retro console and a retro TV. So all of that stuff is big time Sony marketing, and that's not something that's super easy to get or to take away. They would have to go ahead and remove the coding in the game for those objects, and they would have to recode and redesign new coding for brand new objects, such as, I don't know, maybe an old Nintendo system in there, as well as, well, Nintendo doesn't have phones, so they would have to put some different phones that don't look like Sony Xperias, and they would also probably have to switch the PlayStation Vitas with Nintendo 3DSs, or hell, maybe even Nintendo Switches. But with that, guys, unfortunately, there were no plans to bring this over to the Nintendo Switch at the moment. Maybe down the line we'll see something going on. Also, if this game is being made with the PlayStation 5 in mind, then they would have to change the rendering of the game, and they would have to basically downgrade it from what it plays at naturally to be able to play on the Nintendo Switch properly. Because keep in mind that when you take the Nintendo Switch out of the dock, it is no longer on 1080p, it's on 720. So that's something that would need to be addressed as well. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing if you guys are new. It sucks that, you know, the game's not coming on Nintendo Switch, but that's what it is. I will catch you all in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure I just said hit the like button and all that stuff. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm tired. Peace out.